Hey, this is Beebee here with my dog Ruby. She's pouting because I took away her new chew toy, but she was just decimating it, and you gotta save some for tomorrow or you're gonna get sick. Ruby? This is Love is Strange. My grandma's in the hospital. Sorry, oh no, that was like really... She's okay, she has a minor infection. Sorry. That was just what came into my mind for a sec. It's fine, it's fine. I have an interesting relationship with my grandmother in that I know if she knew more about me, she would be very rude. And she has the capacity to be very abusive. But she, and this is terrible, she mostly directs it to my mother. And it is the result of her upbringing as someone who was traumatized and kidnapped and sent to boarding school and beaten by nuns for being native, and them telling her that she should just give up and be a white person because that will be easier for her, and that she's not worth anything unless she's married. So she loves my mother, she's very proud of her for having this education, but she hears about the stuff that my mother does as a doctorate holding person and has no idea what that looks like. Whereas my uncle, who she favors a lot more, is a middle school teacher. She understands that. But like president of a college, like what does that look like? Like CEO, I don't know what that does, that kind of stuff. But regardless, she tends to really harp on stuff that's like traditional feminine stuff, like you should be skinnier, you should wear makeup, that hair looks like a boy hair, that kind of stuff. She leaves me mostly out of it. I'm kind of under grace by her. And part of that is that the other young people of the family, so all of my cousins, are money grubbing, and all they ever do is contact her when they need something from her, like money or a place to sleep and stuff. And so she'll do it because she loves them, but I don't ask her for shit, and she really, really appreciates that. And as long as you keep conversations surface level with them, everything is fine. It's solid. They're great. If you try to get more complex with it, they just can't follow. They don't have that complexity. So I love them very much. But they don't understand shit, do they, Ruby? And sometimes they're racist. And I know right now we're in this age of, like, if someone is not perfect, you need to just not hang out with them and not give them your time and space. And, like, yeah, if someone is abusive and it's hurting you, like, please take care of yourself. But, like, I think there needs to be some understanding that, for me anyway, it's more costly to burn a bridge than to maintain this kind of shallow relationship where I at least get love and support, even if it's conditional on my silence sometimes. And we just spent 3 hours delving into my psych shit. I'll make a decision whether or not this will be in here. What are you looking at? She wants her chew toy back. You, Miss Thing, can just settle down. Anyway, Joyce is going to be so pissed. I mean, there's lots of, good photographers in that class, Max. I basically only took photography so that I could hang out with you and Rachel at school a few times a week. Chloe, you're my best friend. There's no one else I'd rather have in my corner for stuff like this. Something about this game that I've noticed compared to other ones that are a similar type. So we've done Dream Daddy, We Know the Devil, and Butterfly Soup. This one is supremely wordy. And it feels like it was typed up as kind of a fan fiction and then superimposed onto a game. Hey, stop it. Which is whatever. It's just something I noticed is that there's just a lot of words. Chloe looks up from the pile of sugar she was carefully shaping into swirls in the center of the table. Best friend. Her tone is light, but the look on her face makes me feel like I didn't say quite the right thing. My first mate, my partner in crime, the girl I buy breakfast for. Okay, so she's feeling better now. In that case, I can order another, you don't get to complain that she doesn't call you girlfriend when you haven't done anything, Chloe. No. Worth a shot. So I guess we better get started on this thing. The rules say that you need to take your photo somewhere in Arcadia Bay. Do you know where you want to go? I feel like, in keeping with the characterization of Max within the actual game, we went wherever the fuck Chloe told us to go, so she decides. Actually, why don't you tell me where you want to go? Sweet. Chloe had pulled the beanie off her head and tucked it down over my eyes as soon as we got into the truck. I had wanted to pull it off, but she levied the vague threat of swift retribution against me. Probably stink like sweathead. Like most people, I don't know, maybe my friends were especially scuzzy, but I don't think people think to wash their beanies. Remembering all the retaliatory pranks she had unleashed on those who dared oppose her in our childhood, I decided to play along. Even with my eyes covered, I had felt the excitement radiating off of her for the entire drive. I can't deny I'm eager to see what Chloe has in store when the truck finally rolls to a stop. Sit tight. I hear the car door open and close, then a moment later I feel the door on my side open. She leans across my body, unbuckling my seatbelt for me and wrapping a hand around my elbow to guide me out of the cabin. That's unnecessary, Chloe. I see right through you. I stumble anyway, my clumsiness trumping Chloe's best efforts to help me. She catches my weight against her body, steadying me with one hand on my hip, the other still gripping my arm. Whoa there. Sorry. It's so frustrating in retrospect, and y'all didn't ask about this, but I remember being a very young, shy gay in college, and being just the worst at recognizing social cues, and plenty of girls hit on me, and I had no recognition for what was happening at all. Just none at all. It was like trying to flirt with a cardboard cutout of a person. And I would walk away from a party that I had been flirted with for like an hour, and I'd be like, ugh, no one is attracted to me. I'm gonna die alone. And it was my own stupidness. Anyway, I can feel myself blushing, for once grateful that the beanie obscures much of my face. You okay? Her voice is so close and quiet. This is a lot. The gentle pressure of her fingers against my hip makes my heart beat faster, and I nod dumbly. You ready? No. I can hear the excitement in her voice. No, I'm not. The fluttery feeling blooms in the pit of my stomach. I'm excited too. I'm like, I can't. I'm good until I'm not good, and I'm not good. Yeah. Yep, I knew it. We're in the junkyard. Where would we be if we got to pick? Chloe yanks the beanie off my head, and I squint against the sudden explosion of light. Ruby? I love you. What is your malfunction? What? Oh. I look around, taking in the heaps of rusted metal, the scraggly weeds, the towering evergreens looming in the background. It's... Oh, we've not been here yet? How have we been here a year and not seen Chloe's dump? It's amazing. Yeah, wow, Chloe. It's dorky, but I'm actually kind of awestruck by the atmosphere of the place. Yeah, and there's nothing more fun than a trash yard. There's so many things around. Old vehicles, decommissioned signs, busted appliances, everything with its own story, each piece a unique offering. This place is perfect. She loves it. Excuse me, you think so? Yeah, God, I could get so many cool shots here. I'm so glad you can see it, the potential here. Yep, I mentioned before in the Life is Strange playthrough that, I used to build all sorts of weird trash forts in places like these. This is just what NorCal looks like, by the way, just garbage fucking everywhere. After a beat of silence, she turns around, fixing me with a mischievous smirk. Let me show you around. Yeah, you can show me around. Round the block, Chloe takes off a little skip, grabbing the sleeve of my sweater and pulling me behind her. She leads me on a whirlwind tour around the yard. We weave between stacks of rusted-out car bodies, pick our way carefully through the jagged metal and broken glass, around a field of dented metal drums and old tires and rebar. It doesn't take long for me to start to understand just what Chloe loves about this place. There's a sort of serenity here among all the wrecks and refuse. It's kind of beautiful. Chloe drags me over to an old trawler and offers to boost me up over the side. I decline. That thing looks like tetanus waiting to happen. Right? But Chloe just shrugs and hauls herself up over the side with a cheerful disregard for her own personal safety. She struts around atop the boat, posing and flexing, mugging for the camera like the charismatic jerk she is, when I fall back to snap a few photos. Oh no, it's the dread pirate Bluebeard, here to plunder Arcadia Bay. Shut up, you fucking nerd. Arr. Chloe's parrot impression is as hilariously bad as ever, and I can't help but laugh. She's offended. Shut up, landlubber. Don't think I won't make you walk the plank. I can't walk the plank if I'm down here. She walks to the tip of the bow, and kicks over a chair. Because I grew up on the coast, as I mentioned before, as like a little kid, there was a lot of nautical themed stuff that we learned in elementary school. As I think all elementary schoolers kind of learn local history and stuff. And I remember that they put us in the gymnasium, which was also the cafeteria, and they had bow, stern, port, and starboard posted on all four walls. And it was like Simon Says, where she would say, run to port, and everyone would run to the left. And then she would say, run to starboard, and everyone would run to the right. And then she'd say, run to stern. And it was like so fun. I remember that as a kid. And then we went to a fish hatchery like a ton of times. And then I know I've told this story before, but one time in first grade, these people came. I don't know who these people are. And they brought with them this fish. First grade, okay, a bunch of 6- and 7-year-olds. And they put it on the table, and we all gather around, and they dissect it in front of us. It was like cool. It was like, okay, like there's all the fish organs, and it didn't really bother me because I was too young to really fathom like what was happening. But like in retrospect, like what? Who the fuck decided? These first graders, what they need. They need to learn about the inner workings of the fish. And not through diagrams, no. They need to see what it looks like in the flesh. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Fuck that Bluebeard shit. Call me Captain Morgan. I snap it. That was so dumb. Oh man, okay. Captain Morgay. That's like a C-. It's a C- pun. I actually came up with gative the other day. This gay native. But it sounds a little bit too much like gator. So I don't think it works. She laughs and hops down without warning, tossing me one of the metal curtain rods she has been waving around atop the trawler. What's this? It's a sword, you idiot. Yeah, your sword, on guard! She takes a slow swing at me, and I react on instinct, deflecting the blow with my curtain rod and leading us into a full-blown sword fight. That scares me. I'm terrified of getting hit. Like, even as a joke, I'm so weak. One time my dad got a marshmallow launcher, and I was 8, maybe, and I was sitting on the couch with my mother, and he just comes in with this, like, machine gun full of marshmallows and starts shooting us, and we're both just like these pitiful, delicate flowers, and we're like, ow! He's like, they're marshmallows! But they hurt really, really bad. Anyway, not really, really bad, just a little, but enough to send me into a fit of dramatics. She swings again, and I react on instinct, deflecting the blow with my curtain rod. And it's bizarre because we've done this dozens of times. We're grown up now, but somehow playing pirates with my best friend is still easier than breathing. I appreciate this because they didn't touch much on this in the actual game, which is they would make references to their playing pirate all the time, but they never really referenced it between each other, that, this was something so central to their childhood relationship that never kind of came back. For as much as she's changed, for all the hair dye and the tattoos and the weed smoked and the occasional bad attitude, there are things about Chloe that are just fundamental. Pirates are fundamental. Like, she can still make the dumbest, goofiest shit still seem fun and exciting. Her laugh still makes my heart skip. Her smile still warms me up from the inside. This is some gay-ass shit. And she still gets way too cocky in a sword fight, leaving herself wide open. I have a secret for you. I am not left-handed. I feint to the right, almost feeling bad when she lunges predictably away. Defense slipping. Almost. You're dead! Chloe's eyes widen as my next wing comes down. She knows it's gonna be she's gonna be sent straight to Davy Jones' locker with his smelly gym socks. Let me pause here. I gotta decide whether or not I'm keeping certain stuff, and if I'm cutting, then I'm cutting, but otherwise, catch you later. Bye!